Hey everyone, welcome back to TechOps. This is Sai. In today's video, we are diving into a super practical topic. Let's imagine that customer facing issue to create files in the Linux server. So what might be the issue customer facing to create files in the Linux server? Basically, everyone feels that straightforward to permissions issue. So let's consider that permissions issue. But I want to confirm you one thing that I have given all kind of permissions. So user have all kind of permissions, then what might be the issue? So some people will say that maybe server is not up. So I want to clear that I am able to run the production server and I am able to log into the server. So there is no issue with server level. It's up and running and we are able to log in. So then what might be another issue? So most of the people whoever working on Linux, immediately they conclude that it might be a storage issue. And I want to clear one more thing that the storage is good. We have plenty of space. For example, this is my Linux console. If I say disk hyphen h, I am able to see that there is more free space available. So we can strike out that the storage issue also. Let's consider that storage has plenty of space. So can anyone, if you able to understand, if there is an issue with the customer, he is not able to create files in Linux server and permissions are good and we have a plenty of space, then what might be the issue? If anyone able to recall anything, please do the comment. So now, today we are going to discuss on top 10 reasons why file creation fails in the Linux. We already discussed about top 2 reasons or frequent reasons that everyone feels that permission issues or storage issues, and I cleared that there is no permission level issues or storage level issues. Then what might be the next issue? So there are chances of disk level capacity quota. What meant by disk capacity quota? Let's come down. So here I want to give you an example. So a volume might be using by multiple users, and as an administrator there can be a clutch that they have allocated some space of portion to a particular user. So in case the user exceeded its limits, then he get file permission, file creation issues. So how to check that? We can use quota check -avug. So it will give us in case of there is any quota allocation for a disk. So I'm adding here. So generally why we allocate disk quota? In Linux, it is a multi-user system. Disk quota can stop you from creating files even when space is available. So the disk can be allocated to multiple users for their recommendations. For example, I'm a developer. So I want to save my uh, code into the and execute the code. Maybe the logs or maybe artifacts, those can be saved. So I know for my project how much data I can require. So I can ask administrator and I can allocate some space for my project activities. Similarly, for every role, they can allocate some space and the recommendations can be estimated and requested to administrator for allocation of data. So I can say that in my local machine, if I say quota currently I don't have. Even if I installed, I don't any quota allocation for a particular user. So this also we can eliminate. So currently we have discussed about three reasons while file permission can be cause an issue. There is might be a chances of permission issues. There might be chances of storage issues, and there might be chances of disk capacity quota. So the next inline reason is too many files. What too many files? Whenever we create a volume, we allocate a concept called inodes. For example, if I say df-i, I will get the inodes. So it will give how many inodes I have allocated for each mount space and how much inodes are free currently. So in case of inodes are not free, then also we are not able to create the files. First of all, let's understand what is inode. What is inode? Inode is a metadata which collects information like file name, file size, permissions of the file, timestamps like when the file is created, when the file is updated, so those kind of when the file is accessed, those kind of information related to timestamps, and size of the file, disk allocation, disk location, like where the file is stored in the disk. You can consider that disk is kind of a box. So let me do that. So consider that there is a box. So in box, if you want to save a file, then it allocate some space for that particular file, and the file information, that means address of the file, that location we required whenever we call a file, how the file is coming back because of the inode. Inode will save that particular disk location where the file is available, and it will retrieve back to us. That is the fourth issue. Inode means. So in case inodes are filled up, then we cannot able to create a new file. What we need to do? What is the fix? So what is the fix? Fix is clean up the small files or files which are not required. Or the second option is reform the file system with more inodes. How to do that? To reformat, we can use sudo mkfs dot ext4. If it is so I will explain this command later. Let's complete the command. -n 50 /dev /device. So this is the command to reformat the particular file system with more nodes. So sudo is for the a super power, so we can become a superhero like a root user, and we can execute any administration commands. The next one is MKFS, make file system, and ext for the extension of what file system we are using. There in Linux, there are multiple file systems, but the most popular one is ext4. If you want anything related to file system, how we can choose a file system, just add a comment. I will try to create another video on how to choose the file system. And hyphen n is used for the how many inodes we require for that particular file system. So it may be 2050 or 5000, whatever the inode size we are expecting. And this is the device where we want to apply this file system. So this is the fourth case. Let's go for the fifth one. I hope you are able to understand what is inode. Inode is simply a metadata which collects information of a file like file name, file size, permissions, timestamps of the file, size of the file, and the disk location. So for every node, I can say that every inode is equal to one file or directory. In generally, in Linux or Unix platforms, everything is a file. So we can say that file is equal to one inode. And inode will collect all this information and it will locate where the particular file is available in the disk. So this is how we can fix in case of inodes are failed. Mostly when this will occur is in the log path. For example, every day we are creating multiple logs for a service, a particular service. So the service might create 1 KB files or maybe 10 KB files like that. Every day it is creating and we don't have any log rotation. So due to that, it keep on filling number of files, and after a year you could see that in that particular path you have more than 10,000 files. Due to these small chunk files having in particular path, it is facing us to create files in that particular folder or path in that particular file system. So fifth one is volume read only mode. So what is the read only mode? This is one can drive us to our file system mounting as a read-only, maybe due to some improper shutdowns or errors. So, for example, we are keep on restarting our mission. Due to keep on restarting our mission, maybe that mounts external devices went into a read-only mode instead of read and write. How to check that? To check whether a volume or mount is in the read only or not, we can use mount hyphen o, sorry, mount grep ro. So when I run this particular command, say I don't have anything. In case, for example, I am clicking RW. If you see here, I have given an RW. All my mounts are in read write mode. So that's why when I run RO, it not shown anything. So in case if you want to change read write to read only or read only to read write, we can use another command. So how to change in case the volume or the mount is in the read only state. How to fix the read only to read write state. So similarly with the mount command we can do that. So for that we can use mount hyphen o remount comma rw slash file system. So here mount is a command. Sorry, it's not mount. It's yeah. So mount is a command to mount a file system, maybe internal or external devices which are connected to our Linux system. On top of that, which we have created a partitions, and later after creating the partitions, we need to mount that particular file system. For example, in my machine, if I say disk -h or ls blk. Okay, so these all are the different disks I have connected into my machine as an external devices. So these disks later we need to do the partitions. Generally we can get else. So this is the file where we can mount the file system permanently. So if you added your mount devices in this particular location, even if you restart your machine, it won't disconnect these mounts. It will show directly. So sixth point or sixth reason. The sixth reason is file name issue. Let me zoom it so it can be visible for everyone. File name issue. Did anyone know about how many characters we can use on a file creation time? Generally, everyone will create some naming convention like name test underscore xyz dot log or something they will create. But in Linux, there is a condition that if the character's length of the file name exceeded, then uh, exceeded to more than 255 characters. If the file name is exceeded more than 255 characters, then the file creation will fail. Let me demonstrate that. For example, I'm in a location and I'm trying to create a file. Touch. K is not allowed, so I'm removing it. Let me remove this space also. I'm trying to give more than 255 carat. Just be patient. Log. See, it said file name is too long. So due to the file name size or file name is more than 255 characters, then file creation will be failed. And the next reason maybe the path is not existed. So I guess everyone know that. Let me demonstrate that. Currently I'm on the root. I don't have any directories here. So if I try to create touch slash unknown directory slash log.txt. Oh, sorry, I didn't give a proper name. So if you see, no such file or directory. You cannot create the file with when there is no such path. So the next one is service is running? Majorly in real time, you can consider that major of the activities are run through the services. So you can go and check system control status SSH. So SSH is one of the service. Similarly, system control status HTTP. So these all are the services. Currently, there are no services running uh, in my console, so you are not able to see these things. So we need to check is services running or not. How to check that? In case if it shows service is dead, let me show you how it looks like in case service is not running. I have another server running as a production server. Let me log in through it. It's 172.21. Okay. SSH. Yeah, I have logged into a production server. So here, if I say system control status SSH, it's showing currently active. In case of it is dead, it will show as a dead instead of active. Let me check some other services which are in dead state. This one also running. Let me go to the services folder. What are the services I have? I need to check it out. Okay, let me check whether login is working or not. See, it is inactive dead. So my log rotate service is not running. So it is showing as inactive as dead. So if I want to start it, I can use the same system control start. It will ask for credentials. Sorry. Yeah. Let's check the service. See, now the service is running. Wait, it's not yet running. Let me try to start it with sudo. Okay, still it is failing. I need to debug it. Let's see. So how to check that? This is the way how to check this. And in case of the service is dead, how to turn it on? Service name. So the next condition, limits. In Linux, there will be called a ulimit, which can be limits you how many files can be opened, how many files can be created, how many files can be with the what size we can create it. Let me show that. The command is ulimit -a. So this is the limiter for this I user. So here there are some pending signals. How many pending signals can be available? So for example, I am running so many processors, and most of them are going to in pending. So how many can be withstand with the pending signals? So 7423 processors can be in pending state. More than we cannot do that. And this is open files. How many open files can be available? So I cannot open more than 1024 open files. So similarly, if you see maximum memory size allocated for a file or for a person, I can allocate some space, but currently it is unlimited. So in case of limits issue also, you cannot create any files. So how to check that? So for fixed purpose, we need to update the limits, but currently I'm not doing that. So the next one is SC Linux. Okay, what is SC Linux? SC Linux is a security-oriented based program in Linux. So, due to some blockage of security modules, you cannot able to create the file. That is one of the issue. So, due to the SC Linux also, we cannot able to create the files. And the last one is UMask. UMask is like the even though you have a permissions, but you have a permissions related to a user. For example, I can use ACL, account level permissions. Due to this account level permissions, you cannot add a file directly, because whatever permissions you have given, those are restricted. Make sure that this is not same as a permissions of a file. This is a different one for the account level. So these are the 10 reasons why we cannot create a file. Let's go one by one again. As a summary, I can make sure these things. So first one is permission issue. The permission is maybe file permission or user permission, might be not able to log in due to certificate expiry. And second one is uh, yeah, server up not up also comes under permissions only. Let's see the second one. Storage issue. Storage issue is like you have not enough memory to create files. The next one is disk capacity quota. As I mentioned, the volume can be divided into multiple users for their own usage, but in case if it is exceeded, then also we cannot create files. The next one is too many files. That is nothing but inode issue. So what is inode? Inode is a metadata which collects files related summary information, and also have the location of where the file is stored to retrieve it. So while creating the file system, we use it to create a limit for the inode, how many inodes or how many files we can create while creating the file system. So if you see here, this is how we can reformat the file system. This is nothing but the same command can be used for creating the initial file system also. The same command helps for reformatting and creating the file system to some inodes limits. Otherwise, we can clear some small files. The next one is volume is only read-only mount. So sometimes due to more number of restart of our system, some mounts will directly go to read-only for data security and safety purpose. So due to that also it will go. and this is how we can check whether it is a read-only mount or not. And in case if you want to read only to read write, we can use this one. And file name issue, as we discussed, file name shouldn't more than 255 characters. It should be less than or equal to 255 characters. If it is more than, otherwise I will mention like this. If it is more than 255 characters length, then file creation will be failed. And also path is existed or not. And seventh one is service is running or not. So first we need to check whether service is running or not. If it is not running, we need to start it. Limits. In Linux, we can have a limits, how many files can be created, how many files can be opened, all those things, how many processors can be run. And ninth one is SC Linux. SC Linux is like security modules on the Linux, and you must, it's kind of account level credentials might be different, and permissions are different. So these are the summary. Trust me, almost 99% of 99% of issues we are covered. If you feel you have faced other than these 10 issues, please comment down. It will be helpful for others. And if you feel it is helpful for you to understand what are the 10 issues might be the cause for the creation of files in the Linux, please do subscribe and please help me to support with your likes. Thank you. Thanks everyone.